Hello guys, welcome again to the channel. So I hope people are fine. I hope people are doing very well. Mind you, I'm not in the farm today, so don't say that this guy is not in the farm, but he's talking about farm animals. So on today's video, guys, I'm going to talk about how to feed your pigs very cheaply. So if this is your first time coming to my channel, subscribe. If you have not subscribed yet, subscribe. So guys, how do you feed your pigs very cheaply? I don't know if that's what I'm using, if the English is correct, but I know you guys understand what I'm saying, cheaply or cheap, anyone. So how do you feed your pigs very cheap at a cheap cost? Now, you all know that at the end of the day, I'm talking about Nigerian farmers because I'm based in Nigeria. So I will talk about the ones I know and the ones I've seen and what happens in this country because I'm a Niger boy. So as a farmer, what your aim should be to try to reduce cost. And what constitutes the most cost when it comes to pig farming is feeding. It's feeding. Unlike when it comes to goat farming and the rest. It's feeding because 80% of your running cost is totally on feeding. Feeding. I see how I'm emphasizing the feeding. Yeah. So 80% of your running cost as a pig farmer is totally based on feeding. So I think the major aim of every farmer who's trying to maximize their profit is to reduce the cost of feeding. Now, how do you reduce the cost of feeding? You ask me, I'm the expert here. So how do you reduce the cost of feeding? To reduce this cost of feeding, you have to, supplement. You have to, improvise. You know what I'm saying? Improvise. You have to improvise because we are businessmen. So how do you improvise? So I know that you all know that the major, in fact, if you go to Western countries, all these developed countries, or even other countries in Africa, what they usually feed their pigs over there is corn and soya beans. That's maize and soya beans. But if you come out to Nigeria here, corn is very expensive. Soya bean, the price is mad. So you can't say that you want to run your pig farm on corn and soya beans and other little things and still make profit. So you can't do that. So the best thing now is to go for alternatives, go for improvisations, go for if I will speak English and that's far bigger than me. So the next thing now is look for things that are cheaper. So that is where this video is heading. What are those things that are cheaper for you to feed your pigs? Now the main point of this video is don't use corn and soya beans, rather go for factory waste. And in Nigeria here, we all know about the factory waste I'm talking about. I'm talking about the brewery spent grain. I'm talking about the pancana cake. I'm talking about the bakery waste. I'm talking about some things like opachaf, waste from cassava processing companies. So if you combine all these things together, you see that you get most of the essential nutrients that you can also get from corn and soya beans. So let me tell you now which of these factory waste provide these essential nutrients that these pigs get from corn and soya. See, it's not about feeding them this factory waste too. No, it's not about feeding them cheap feeds. No, it's about the main things. If those factory waste or if those cheap feed you are feeding them, it's giving them the essential nutrients needed for them to grow very well. Because let's be honest with ourselves, you can say that okay, corn is expensive, soya bean is expensive, so let me just feed my pigs on waste fruits. You go to the market, you carry waste fruits, they will give it to you free of charge. You go to the farm, you take cassava peels. You go to the bush, you get water leaf and other leaves, and you combine them together and you are feeding your pigs. Your pigs will not grow well, oh. They will not grow well, oh. So I know why I'm shouting this now. I know why I'm shouting it because people like trying to reduce costs foolishly. That's the truth. People like trying to reduce costs foolishly, thinking they are saving money while they are spoiling their business for themselves. So I like being honest here. So how do you make sure that you get the best factory waste that provide the essential nutrients? So now I'm going to list all the nutrients. Like I'm going to say all the nutrients that this factory waste provide. I know you may be looking at my bald head. I'm bald. I know. I'm young. I'm bald. It's nature. So as I was saying, the essential nutrients that this factory waste provide, I'm going to mention it all. So now the brewery spent grain. We all know about brewery spent grain. Like you go to breweries, You get this, they are like leftover, like in breweries. I'm not in breweries, there's this thing that is called malt. Malt is like a cereal, like how corn is. So they bring it to the brewery, cook it, extract the sugar, the water, everything out of it. Now that chaff, just like now when you are grinding palm kernel, palm fruit, the chaff, that's already this chaff that is used in doing fire, in sparking fire. And I don't know what else to say about but you all understand what I'm saying. The chaff that is left from the malt, that thing is made up of fiber. Like it's like chaff. Most of the essential nutrients have been taken out from it, but it still has some little level of protein and carbohydrate, and then mostly fiber. So if you get the fresh one or the dried one, anyone, you can be able to supplement it to an extent in your pig's feed, and that means it's going to provide fiber, some level, not much, some level of protein, and some level, not much, some level of carbohydrates. So you keep it one side. Now the next thing is that the PKC. We all know the pancake cake, like it's mostly used here in the southeast. I'm located in Abia State, so it's mostly used here both for chicken feeds, fish feed, turkey feed, goat feed, cattle feed, goatigo, all of them. In fact, PKC is used in all animals, even bush meat. They eat it too. That's like grass cutter. They eat it too. So PKC has some level of energy, but it's mostly fiber. It's mostly fiber. It has some level of energy, but not so much energy. So you have to always add more energy to it when you're using PKC. So that's it. PKC has been left aside. Now, next thing is the upper chaff. Upper chaff is like, if you're in the southeast, you know what, especially in Enugu. My Enugu people. If you're in Enugu, you know what upper is like. It's a delicacy that is eaten mostly in the southeast here by the Igbos. So, like the waste that comes out from this snack, but it's a snack, is what the waste, the chaff, is rich in protein. Not so much protein, because at the end of the day, all these things are just waste. So you don't expect them to give you the level of protein or carbohydrate you get from corn and soya beans. So that's it. So our chaff is very, very, very good for protein. So you keep it aside. Now the next thing is the waste from cassava processing companies. You go to all these cassava processing companies, all these people that make apong, all these people that make loi, all these people that make, all these cassava processing companies. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying. All these cassava processing companies, the leftover cassava, you take it. And you know cassava is rich in carbohydrates. So at the end of the day, if you combine this brewery spent grain, PKC, or pachav, waste from cassava processing companies, and then finally the bakery waste, you can go to all these bakeries, get their leftover bread and the rest, because sometimes when they're baking, some fall to the floor, sand, touch it, and they'll be like, this one, we're not going to put it for the customers before they stop buying bread from this our company. If our company will fall, so we have to keep that side as waste. Now you can go there and buy it. And these days, they used to give it free before, but these days you have to buy it, because everything Nigeria is going up. Even me self. So in fact, man, it's really crazy out here. So you have to buy it. Maybe a bag, you can get it at a very cheap price, and the rest. So you buy it. And bakery waste, like is made from wheat, and wheat is very, very rich in energy, in carbohydrates. So imagine combining bakery waste, cassava processing waste, which is rich in carbohydrates, as in the two of them is rich in carbohydrates. Now you combine things like apachav and brewery spent grain and PKC, which is now rich in fiber, protein, and some level of carbohydrate. Combine it together and feed your pigs. Number one, you have saved cost, because if a kg of corn here in Nigeria costs around 400 naira, a kg of soybean costs around 500 naira. So imagine you running your pig farm at this expensive cost. Some pig farmers, some people that started pig farming have been calling me, asking me, is running a pig farm this expensive? I'm like, what do you think? It's expensive, my brother. It's expensive. Running a pig farm is not easy, because pigs eat. They eat. So that's it. So that's on today's video. So if you combine all these things, you are ready to feed your pigs at a very, very cheap price. So that's on today's video, my people. I'm not at the farm today, like I said, but I'll still make this video for you guys, because at the end of the day, I'm here to serve you guys. So what you do now is ask me questions. Like any question you feel that you want to ask me in the comment section, and I'll be there to answer. I will be there to answer. Like if I've not been answering questions before, from now on, I'll be answering you all. So guys, thank you. Comment, ask your questions, and subscribe and most importantly, like this video. Thank you guys, and thank you.